Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Carrie and I am so pleased that you have joined me today. We are going to be targeting our legs and our bums. So as we get into the warmer weather, we're going to be wearing shorts and bathing suits, and we're going to see if we can lift some things up today. So get yourself into something comfortable, grab your mat, and let's get started. And the first pose I'd like you to go into is Shavasana. So we're going to lay all the way down onto our mats, getting your legs stretched out nice and long, and maybe taking your arms up and overhead. Taking a nice big good morning stretch. Letting out sighs if you have them. Maybe stretching one side and then the other. Beautiful. Let's let the arms float down to the mat. We'll bend the knees and just coming into this nice comfortable pose. You can take your feet out to the edges of the mat and let your knees relax in on each other. We'll place our hands just onto our lower belly, getting your spine nice and long and taking this opportunity to arrive. So you can close your eyes, connecting with your mat, connecting with the floor, and leaving any to-do lists on the other side of this class. Bringing your breath nice and full and easy all the way down into your belly. Maybe letting out another sigh. Letting those shoulders relax down towards the floor. Doing a little scan of your body to see if there's any areas that are feeling a little tender, a little tight. And being very gentle with those parts of you that need a little bit more attention. And at any point, if I'm asking you to do something and it's not feeling right, just don't do it. Then we'll wiggle the feet in so that they're parallel to each other, bringing your hands down towards the floor. Let's bring the right knee into our chest and then sending that heel all the way up towards the ceiling. Your toes up towards the ceiling, and then flexing your foot, giving the hamstrings a little stretch this morning. Back and forth with your toes. And then with your heel pushing up and your toes pointing down towards your nose. I'm going to see if we can bring that foot a little closer to your forehead. Down to the count of 20, so nice and slow, keeping your breath flowing, keeping that leg nice and long and straight. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Letting your heel touch the floor. Let's lift the leg up just an inch or so, keeping your heel pushing out. We're going to do small movements, so just lifting your leg up and down just an inch or so, feeling that deep muscle that keeps us all standing upright, working here, that psoas muscle on the top of your right leg. And then from here, we're going to take our leg from side to side. So just an inch on either side, keeping your heel just an inch or two off the mat. Noticing how that feels, noticing where you're feeling it. And then we'll take our toes and point them over to the right. We're going to take our whole leg up and down on an angle. So again, small movements. And then taking your toes, pointing them towards the inside, like you're pigeon-toed. And we'll take that leg up and down a few times. Beautiful. Let's let that leg rest. We'll stretch the left leg out and just noticing how your right side feels compared to the left. It might feel a little bit longer. We'll see if we can balance ourselves out. So bending both knees again, we'll bring the left knee into our chest, sending that right heel or left heel up towards the ceiling. Coming into a nice hamstring stretch. Let's point and flex our foot back and forth. Stretching out the whole back side of that left leg. And then with your heel pushing up, bringing those toes down towards your nose. Let's see if we can move the toes a little closer to your forehead. Breathing here. And then slowly lowering this beautiful straight leg all the way down towards the floor. Taking your time. Imagine somebody guiding it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Letting your heel touch the floor. Let's lift the leg up just an inch or so. We'll take the toes up and down, small movements. Keeping your breath flowing. Maybe engaging your core and pulling that belly button towards the mat. And then we'll take our heel from side to side, just an inch on each side. Targeting all angles of the psoas muscle here. And then taking your toes over to the left. Let's take the leg up and down on an angle. And then taking your toes towards the right and up and down again on an angle. And letting your heel relax down. Let's stretch the right leg out, making sure both feet, both legs feel nice and even. We'll reach the arms back up and overhead. Taking a nice big full breath again. Letting out a sigh. We'll bring both knees into our chest. Let's bring the hands underneath the knees, just so we can rock from side to side. And if it's accessible to you, and we're going to rock forward and back a couple of times. And coming all the way up, we're going to bring ourselves into a table position. Just getting your hands under your knees. So wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. And let's do a few cat-cows here just to see how the spine is feeling. So as you exhale, rounding your back. And inhale, letting your belly sink down as your head and tailbone come up. Doing 3 more like this. See if you can slow down your breath, slow down your movement. And then we'll come back into our table position. Let's stretch the right leg out, toes on the mat, and just pumping your heel. So getting into the calves now. Giving them a nice stretch, stretching out your toes. And then we'll lift this leg up, getting it parallel to the floor, hips parallel to the floor. Heel is pushing out, toes are pointing down. And let's lift this leg up and down. So targeting into that lower back and into the glutes a little bit here. Engaging your core as you pull the navel towards your spine. Nice, steady movements. Beautiful. And then letting that leg rest here. We'll bend the knee so that the foot is flat to the ceiling. We're going to get into the glutes a little more, lifting your foot up and down. Breathing here, making sure you're not holding your breath. Beautiful. Let's exhale. Nose, rounding your back. Inhale, sending it back up. Exhale, bringing it in. And inhale, sending it up. Once more, bringing it in. And sending it up. Let's bring that knee down to the mat. And we'll settle back into child's pose for a breath or two. You can take your knees a little further apart, maybe resting your head onto your stacked fists, or bringing your head all the way to the mat. Breathing all the way down that back body. As you exhale, letting go. And then we'll come back up onto our hands and knees. Get ready to do the other side, taking your left toes out and gently pumping your heel, waking up the calves on this side. And then lifting that leg up parallel to the floor, heels pushing out, toes are pointing down, getting both hips even to the mat. And then lifting this leg up and down. Engaging your core, strengthening your back here. And then we'll keep that leg straight. Let's bend the knee, foot flat to the ceiling, and then pumping that foot up and down. Really getting into the glutes here. And then as you exhale, we'll bring the knee to the nose, rounding your back. Inhale, sending that foot back up. Moving back and forth 2 more times. Beautiful. And bringing your knee back down. We'll just let the hips go from side to side. And then coming back to center, let's curl the toes under and bringing ourselves into our downward facing dog. Maybe walking one heel out at a time. Getting a nice stretch all along the back of the legs. And then bringing both heels down towards the floor, hips rising up a little bit higher towards the ceiling. Breathing here. And we'll take a little leisurely walk up to the top of our mats. Maybe bending your knees when you get there, hanging out into our ragdoll. Maybe grabbing hold of your elbows and swaying from side to side. And then coming back to center, uncrossing your arms, coming into our forward fold, letting your head relax down. And then we'll bend the knees and slowly bring ourselves all the way up to our mountain pose, coming up into Tadasana. Shoulders roll down and back, stacking everything up nice and tall. Maybe bringing your hands to your heart center, feeling the beat of your heart on your thumbs. Feeling both feet nice and solid. Taking a breath or two here. And then we'll inhale, reach the arms up, bringing the palms together, and exhale, folding back down over your hips. And then we'll take the right leg and stretch it back, bringing your knee down to the mat, sinking into your hips, maybe getting that left knee in your armpit. Taking a breath or two here. Maybe lifting your nose up towards the ceiling. Getting a more deeper stretch in that psoas muscle. And then we'll walk our fingers back and straightening out that left leg, bringing your nose towards your knee. And then walking your fingers forward again. Let's curl the back toe, lifting that knee up, coming into our high lunge here. Feeling those legs nice and strong, maybe bringing your hands to your left knee. So really digging into those feet, finding some balance here. And if it feels comfortable for you and balanced, you can reach the arms all the way up to the ceiling. Really feel those feet and toes gripping those legs nice and solid. And then we'll let the hands come back down to the mat. Let's rock the back foot forward, folding over your hips, maybe noticing if you can get a little deeper after that. And then we'll take the left leg back, knees down to the ground, that left knee sinking in, making any adjustments. Maybe getting that right knee in your armpit, lifting your nose, breathing down into your belly, softening here. And then we'll walk the fingers back, straightening out that right leg, bringing your nose down towards your knee. And then coming forward again, let's curl the back toe, lift that left knee off the mat, coming into our high lunge. Taking a moment to settle into this shape. If it's feeling right for you today, you can bring your hands to that right knee, really feeling those legs firing up. Maybe bringing your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Nice and tall. Beautiful. Let's let the hands come back down to the mat. We'll let that left knee come back down, and we'll take the right knee back to meet it. I'm going to turn around. We're going to come into gate pose here. So take your right leg out, stretching it out. We're going to get into the inner thigh here a little bit. So making sure it feels right for you. And maybe from here, if you can get your hips down to that left foot, a little bit of more intense stretch, maybe lifting your toes of your right foot. You can bring your head down, breathing into any tight spots, making sure there's no sharp pain for you. And then we'll come all the way back up. Let's bring our hands to our waist, rising up into our gate pose. Beautiful, reaching the arms all the way up. Beauty, and they'll take the right hand down to the right thigh. We'll reach up and over. Nice big side stretch. Breathing here. And then bringing both arms back up. Let's see if we can bring the left arm down towards the floor. Reaching with the right arm. Nice side body stretch. And then taking your right arm up to the ceiling, we'll bring it to our waist and bringing ourselves back up. Let's bring our hands down to the floor. We'll bring that right leg in. We'll do the other side. Left leg comes out. Nice big wide gate pose here. See if you can bring your hips down towards that right foot. Maybe bringing your left toes up. And resting your head towards the mat. Breathing into any tight spots. And then coming back up. And then bringing our hands to our waist. Coming all the way up. And then reach the arms up to the ceiling. Breathing in. We'll take the left hand to the left thigh. Reaching up and over. Side body stretch. And then bringing the left hand back up. Let's let that right arm float down towards the floor. Stretching that left arm all the way up and over. Getting a nice side body stretch here. And then taking your left arm and placing it onto your waist. And bringing both hands back onto your waist. Beautiful. Bringing your hands back down to the floor. We'll bring that left knee in. I'll just turn back around. We're going to curl the toes again. And coming back into our downward facing dog. Hips to the ceiling and just walking one heel out at a time. And bringing both heels down towards the floor. Just noticing how your legs feel in this downward facing dog. And taking a nice leisurely walk back up to the top of the mat. Folding back over your hips. Breathing here. Let's bend the knees nice and generous. So we're going to come into chair pose, lifting the arms up, looking up, getting those thighs working for us today. Breathing, smiling through the intensity of this. Beautiful. Let's let the hands float back down to the mat. You can stretch your legs up, hips up. Breathing here. And we'll take the right leg back so that the right foot is parallel to the back of the mat. And then pushing into that left leg, we'll reach the right arm up and over, coming into warrior two. So arms stretching out, legs nice and solid, bending into that front knee. Feeling the muscles and the power in those legs today. Beautiful. Let's take the right hand to our thigh, left arm reaching up and over. Breathing into the front body. And then folding forward. Reaching the right arm forward. We'll let the right hand come down to the floor, bringing those feet parallel to each other, coming into our forward fold with the wide legs. Breathing here. Let's walk the hands out a little bit, coming into a downward facing dog with wide legs here. Taking a couple of breaths. And then bringing your hands back. We'll walk them over to the back of the mat, taking your right foot and facing it forward. We're going to push into the right leg. Let's reach the left arm up and back, coming into warrior two on this side. Sinking in, shoulders relaxing, feet nice and solid. And then we'll bring the left hand to the thigh, right arm reaches up and over. And then folding forward, bringing that right elbow to your knee, left arm stretching. And then bringing your left hand back down, we'll walk our feet parallel to each other again, hands coming to the center. This time, let's bring our heels in a little bit. We're going to bring our hands to our waist and rising up. Keeping your knees bent, coming into our goddess shape here. Let's stretch the arms out, really feeling the power in those legs. Maybe bending the elbows. And then we'll bring the elbows together and opening them up. And bringing them together. And opening them up. Let's do one more. Breathing here. Beautiful. Let your arms stretch out and bringing them down to your thighs. Maybe sliding them all the way down to the mat. And then wiggling your feet in a little closer. We'll come into our squat. So good one for gardening. So coming into squat pose, really good for getting your digestive system working for you each and every day. You should do a squat a day, kind of help get that body moving. So settling here, taking a moment. And then we'll ease our way back down onto the mat. Let's stretch our beautiful legs out. Give them a little shake. Maybe make some loose fists and tapping into our lower back, into our hips, our thighs, all the way down those legs to the bottoms of your feet, and then coming back up the inside. And letting your hands just rest on the tops of your legs, closing your eyes. Stacking shoulders above hips. Maybe tucking your chin in, getting a little bit more length in the back of your neck. And allowing your legs to soften here. They're fully supported. They don't need to be working anymore. Beautiful. Let's take the right leg and bring it up. We're going to cross it over, sitting up nice and tall. Let's bring the left arm around that knee. We'll come into a spinal twist here, taking the right arm behind you, sitting up nice and tall, opening your shoulders a little bit more. Breathing into any tight spots. And then we'll slowly unwind. Let's keep this leg crossed over, but just let the knee drop down, making sure that your ankle isn't digging into your thigh. We're going to reach the arms all the way up, getting nice and tall, and then slowly folding down towards your toes. So really intense stretch for your hamstrings. Using your breath here to ease away any tightness. And then we'll slowly roll up. Let's take hold of the bottom of that right foot and the knee. And we'll just maybe rock it back and forth. Maybe taking your knee into a circle. And then the other direction. Maybe grabbing hold of the bottom of your right foot with your right hand. We're going to see if we can stretch the right heel out. Taking it for a little ride there. And then slowly letting your leg come down. And noticing how the right leg got a little bit longer. We'll see if we can fix the other side. So let's take the left leg in and cross it over. Sitting up tall, taking the right arm around. Left arm behind. Nice long spine as you look over your left shoulder. Shoulders opening a little bit more. And then we'll slowly unwind. Let's let this left knee come down, keeping it crossed over that right leg. We're going to reach the arms up nice and long, getting nice and long, and then exhale, slowly coming down towards your toes. Pretty intense forward fold, so just going wherever it works for you. And then we'll slowly come back up, taking hold of the bottom of that left foot and the knee, and just rocking your leg from side to side, maybe even taking your knee into a circle. And then we'll take the left hand to the bottom of this left foot and let the heel of that left foot come out, giving it a nice stretch. Breathing here. And then slowly letting that left heel rest beside the right one. Hopefully both feet are nice and even again. Let's point the toes and flex them. Nice. And we're going to lay all the way down onto our mat. Getting your spine nice and long. Having your heels underneath your knees. Arms resting by your sides. Connecting again with your breath. And as you exhale, let's push into the heels, lifting the hips up, making sure your neck has enough room. Breathing here. Keeping those knees hip width apart. Feeling the weight in your heels. And from here, let's see if we can take the right foot up towards the ceiling, pushing into the left heel, and then bringing that right foot back down, pushing into both heels, lifting your hips. Breathing here. And then we'll see if we can take the left foot up to the ceiling, pushing into your right heel, and then bringing that left heel down, again pushing into both heels. And very slowly we're going to lower ourselves down, feeling each one of those bones touching the mat. Taking your time, nice and slow. Beautiful. Feeling the beautiful support of the floor. We'll bring the left knee into our chest. Let's stretch that right leg out. We're going to come into a spinal twist from here. So bringing your right hand on your left knee. We're going to stretch the left arm out and slowly bring this left leg across the body, keeping shoulders relaxed on the mat, making any adjustments so that it works for you. Sending your breath all the way down the length of your spine. Maybe taking your head over to the left. Nice, full, steady breaths. Maybe noticing on each exhale how your left knee gets a little closer to the floor as you relax a little bit more. Taking a full breath into your belly, letting out a sigh. We'll slowly come back to center. And bringing the right knee into the chest, sending your left leg out. And we'll do this twist on this side. So left hand on your right knee, right arm stretching out. When you're ready, slowly let the right knee come down towards the left, keeping your shoulders resting on the mat, head looking to the right. Nice full breaths. And taking a full breath in and letting out a sigh. We'll slowly come back to center, bringing both knees into your chest and rocking from side to side. And then we'll take our legs and stretch them all the way out onto the mat, coming into our final shape here, Shavasana again. Palms can be facing upwards, and close your eyes, feeling all that beautiful fresh energy flowing through your legs, from the tips of your toes all the way up to your hips. Feeling that energy from your hips up to your shoulders and all the way down to your fingertips. Feeling your breath flowing in and back out. And today's meditative poem by Dana Faulds is called Joy for No Reason. I am filled with quiet joy for no reason save the fact that I am alive. The message I receive is clear. There's no time to lose from loving, no place but here to offer kindness, no day but this to be my true, unfettered self and pass the flame from heart to heart. This is the only moment that exists. So simple, so exquisite, and so real. So just bringing a full breath into your belly and beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Slowly rolling to your side and making your way up to a comfortable seated position. And sitting up nice and tall and comfortable. Bring our hands together at our heart center. And bringing in a collective breath in and a collective breath out. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Taking a breath in and out. May you all have a wonderful day. Namaste.